Hendo, thanks for joining us. Thanks for your time, as always. First of all, just looking back on the Friday game against Keighley, what are the main takeaways from that, having watched it back now?
I think, look, the big positive for me was certainly the way we finished the game. We obviously put ourselves under a bit of pressure at the back end. We made way too many errors, but the way we defended our try line was immense, to be honest, considering the fact that we'd lost sort of three of our bigger name players, earlier in the contest. Obviously, Connor Fitzsimmons, we lost him after 12-15 minutes in the first half, and Danny Kermon pulled up with an injury just before half time, managed to get through to half time but couldn't return to the field. And then obviously Liam Harris, we lost him around the 60-minute mark there in the act of scoring. So, sort of played the last 20 minutes there with effectively one player on the bench to rotate around. It was a credit to the team. The way we defended that last sort of, because it felt like there was for about the last 15 minutes, felt like we just couldn't get off our try line because either we were giving away six agains, or we had the ball stolen off us, or we made an error coming out of backfield. So we had to sort of repel wave after wave of Keighley attack, and I suppose that was the most pleasing thing for me, was the way that, or the manner that we managed to just keep turning up for one another and sort of prevent them from scoring in that final 20 minutes. So that's the positives to take from it. Obviously disappointed with the overall result, because I thought we got off to a great start. We really came out, we got off to an early lead, and then we just seemed to go away from what we were doing well in terms of with the ball. We just went away from the plan a little bit, didn't quite execute that well enough, come up with a few crucial errors at crucial points, which, to be fair, obviously gifted Keithy some field position, and again I think there was a couple of defensive errors too, at times which hurt us, and obviously Keithy took full advantage of that too. So no complaints from us. We didn't deserve to win the game. Like I said, we made too many errors with the ball, or too many errors defensively as well. But ultimately was pleased with the way we sort of finished it, pleased with the way we started the game, but it was that middle part of the game that we just didn't manage well enough.
You touched on the injuries. I think it's 11 players out at the moment. You're certainly doing it tough at this period in time.
Do you know what, Jacob? I'm praying for the rugby gods to come and give us something, But no, look, at the moment we are doing it tough. There's no doubt about it. We sort of knew that going into the season. We were under the pump a little bit with injuries. We've obviously, unfortunately, managed to take a few more as the season's gone on, and obviously the other guys were out for sort of medium to long term. So we've not been able to welcome too many of those back, straight away. So look, it is what it is. We've got these troops out at the moment. We're hopeful that we may have one or two, maybe three back in the next sort of week to 3 weeks, which will be a huge boost to us. If those players don't become available, then we may have to look at the market to some degree. But that's a conversation I'll have to have with the owner.
Just moving on to Sunday then, Halifax, the opponents for this weekend. They've finished third in the last 2 seasons. I know they've had a difficult start, but certainly a top side.
Oh, they're a good side, no doubt about it. They've got a good balance to their team, plenty of good experienced, established players at this level, and a couple of ex-sort of Super League players in there too. And I think they've got their spine, Keys and Jouffre and Woodburn Hall and Moore do a really good job there for them. And they've got a decent forward pack, and they've got some really good players out on the edges too. I just think they're a really well balanced side, good quality side. They play some really good rugby league football as well. So, we're going to be challenged obviously on the weekend. But the good thing for us, we probably go there with nothing to lose. I think certainly considering our current form and our current situation, I don't think there'll be a lot of people expecting us to go there and get the job done. But we'll certainly be working extremely hard behind the scenes this week to go there and deliver a performance, and hopefully that performance will be good enough to get 2 points, because we need it.
Do you think that'll play into your hands? I think you spoke about that being a similar attitude before the Sheffield game in the Cup.
Yeah, I think potentially. Look, I mean, again, we have to see what sort of side we can conjure up this week. Might be a few guys having to play out of position again, but that's the nature of the beast, And I think we showed that attitude really well. Backs were against the wall there going into our Sheffield game, and off the back of back-to-back losses, and the boys come out and delivered a sterling performance. We couldn't quite back that up on the Friday, and obviously there was some variables there that probably didn't help us in that game. But ultimately, we're now going to Halifax, and we need to get 2 points. So, I just need to see our team show a bit of fight and a bit of spirit and compete hard, and hopefully deliver a performance. And then if we do that, we'll give us something to build off.